It's my great pleasure to be talking to you, Karl, today. Could you please introduce yourself and what do you do for business?
Sure. Hello, my name is Karl Licht, and I am an actor based in the United States.
Excellent. What do you do as an ambassador at the beard struggle?
Well, the Beard Struggle is what it is. They're a product line of products for your beard. It's a Viking-themed, Viking-influenced product, whereas the scents are, kind of like, they have Nordic names, Viking names, but they're also based in the smell that if you're in the Nordic area, those kind of smells, like the musty smells or the sweeter smells. They have a number of products, a beard oil, which I use, a beard balm. They also have the combs, the heated brushes, anything that's associated with grooming and maintaining your beard, they have. And they have, I think, like 12, 15 different scents. And as an ambassador for them, basically, I promote, I use the products, I promote the products on my website, karl@karlicht.com. I have a page where you can go there, and if you click on the link to go to their site from my page, you get like a 10% discount on anything you purchase.
That's amazing. Is it costly to grow a beard?
I'm sorry?
Is it costly? Is it expensive to grow a beard?
No, actually, it's pretty cheap because you don't have to keep going to like a haircut place, every 6 weeks and getting a haircut or getting your beard trimmer. The cost on the razors. I'll trim it a little bit myself, but if I need to, that's one of the nice things about being an actor. If you go to do a role and they're like, well, we want to clean it up a little bit, they'll do it for me. So so I'm saving money with the beard.
Yeah. Is it is it a personal matter or a matter of fashion?
I started growing the beard because I did a movie pilot. TV pilot, and it was a sword and sorcery kind of TV show, and all the guys had beards, and I didn't, and I was playing a brigand. So I had more of a clean cut look than that scruffy thing. So I started growing it out because I figured I wanted to get in these kind of roles. I had fun doing that, and then once I get it to a certain point, people started to notice, like, oh, you really look good with that, and you should keep that. And I'd have to say probably 95% of the people that I came across who knew me was like, you look better with the beard. So, I guess it's both personally and personally now.
Yeah, okay. And what kind of roles do you fit in as an actor?
Well, actors, like
what kind of roles do you fit in as an actor?
Well, the roles depend on your skill level, but it also depends on your look. If you were a really small person, you're not going to get a role as a bouncer. Whereas if you're like 6'6" and 240 pounds, you're not going to get my look right. I don't get offered the heartthrob like Hallmark Channel guy gets the girl kind of roles, because not what they do for. But I can do a biker. I can do a period piece. Like I could do somebody from like the Middle Ages. I can do somebody in like young America, like the vineyard times. I could my hair is long enough where I can do different things with this. So I have a variety of roles available to me, and it's nice because there's surprisingly, even though I am a certain look, there are a number of roles out there that I could go for.
Yeah, very interesting. Let me ask you this: how can you get famous as an actor?
Well, there's a lot of different ways about getting famous as an actor. I mean, you could, you could do something, bad and get in the news, or you could just. But on the good side of things, it's a lot of luck, and it's being at the right place at the right time. You could. Like an example, the movie Blair Witch, the Blair Witch Project. I think they did that for like $50,000. With some indie people. They shot it. They had no clue it was going to be as huge and become the franchise it did. And now they're famous. You know, you could, but you know, you could take someone like, you know, Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt or someone put him in a movie, you know, but if the movie's poorly done or if the chemistry's not there, the movie's not going to do well. So even though you get a big name person, it's you know, it's just not the right fit. So to be famous, to get famous, you know, again, it's being in the right place, the right time, and a lot of luck. A lot of people, I guess, you'd have to want to chase it also. You'd have to want to be famous, you know, and try to, you know, make those situations happen.
Oh yeah, very interesting. And do you face difficult situations while acting?
I'm sorry?
Like, do you face difficult situations? Do you have challenges while acting?
Yeah, there are challenges. I mean, it's again, you get into as an individual, for, you know, a lot of things that some people consider challenges, I don't consider a challenge. For me, though, a challenge would be like if they're looking for, if the director wants a particular like sound or accent, and I'm having a hard time, you know, getting the accent. So maybe an accent that I'm not good at doing, and so I'll have to do something similar. But one of the things that for anybody that's looking to get into acting, it's a lot of waiting. You know, you hurry up, you get to someplace, and you got to wait. And you can wait 5 minutes, it can be 5 hours. I have been on sets where, you know, things are just going wrong, and it's just like, you know, what should have taken you, you know, 20 minutes to get done, you know, took hours. And you know, so that's some of the challenges. You know, I see other than that, the other real big challenge is, you know, actually getting a role. You know, you may get like someone may see a role out there. Oh, I really want that. Well, you may be one of like 100 or 1,000 people that are submitting for it. You know, so the odds of, you know, like I said, you got to be the right look. You got to, you know, deliver it the right way. You got to do something that, you know, the casting director and producers, they see and it stands out to them. So that's a challenge also, is getting a role.
What are the main requirements to be an actor?
You still, in my opinion, you still have to be a kid at heart. I think all children are actors. You know, kids play games. You know, they no matter where you grow up and stuff, they like, you know, they emulate the people that came before them or their heroes, or you know, they you know, they take on personalities or personas and do that. So as an actor, you're doing the same thing. You know, for me, you got to be open-minded. You got to be able to, you know, like, I don't have an ego when it comes to acting. So if they need me to play a particular type of character, I can do that because, you know, I know that's not me, that's the character. But it's you know, you've got to be willing to step out of your shoes and into the shoes of the character and really like discover who that character is, and then portray that, you know, out onto the film.
Yeah, let's go to another area. Like, how hard or how smooth is it to move from being a soldier to being an actor?
Um, to be honest, it's kind of the same. You know, in the military, you know, you've got someone who's telling you what to do, telling you what time to get up, when to eat, what outfit to wear, what equipment to work with, what time to be at what location, how long are you going to be there, you know, when you get your break, you know, and you know, then what time you go to bed and stuff like that. On a production, in a film or TV show, it's pretty much the same thing. You know, it's like, okay, I need you to be on set at this time. I need you to be in, you know, this costume or this outfit by this time, and then I need you to be, you know, like fed, and you know, we eat, we have a snack thing here, and we have lunch and dinner at these particular times. I need you to be hydrated, I need you to have your lines memorized. We're gonna do this, and then, you know, when it's done, you know, it's like, okay, this is what time we're gonna, you know, do the follow-up, the wrap stuff, and then, you know, then they you don't have to with this part. They say, we'd like you to get into bed, you know, get a good night's sleep so you can be, you know, on set again at a certain time the next day. So in that aspect, it's very, very similar. You know, but you have a lot more creativity as an actor. It's like once, like in the military, you know, they tell you, okay, I want you to fix this equipment, and you got to fix something the same way every time.
Yeah.
Whereas you're an actor, it's like let's do this role, all right, but make it yours. And then they may ask, okay, let's do it a different way. Okay, let's try it like this, or let's try it like that. And then on the editing floor, they'll take what they love about it and put that in the project, where you don't have that freedom in the military.
Mhm. How much of yourself do you put in your roles? Like, how much can you personalize a role in a movie?
That's a very good question. Um, there has to be, again, my thought, there has to be something of you in your character. I mean, if you were to just walk in and, portray a character, take on a persona that has nothing of you in it, I don't think that you're going to be able to really portray or project like a character where it's not just like, oh, that's just an actor acting, oh, just going through the motions. But if you can actually take something of your personality or your personal experience and mesh it into the character when you're doing your scene, I think that brings it to life, and that will portray more. Like, I have a friend, I watched a scene that she did where she was going through something very, very, distraught. She was very upset, and I could identify that she did such a great job of portraying the pain and the anguish that she was going through, that even though I know she was acting, I still, watching the scene, felt it, and I was like, oh my God. And she just remembered something that happened to her in the past and just kind of brought it in and made it one thing and presented it. And so again, I think you have to, you have to take something of yourself, put it into your character, to really bring that character to life, to give it, some anima.
How do you deal with your audience?
Well, how exactly do you mean? How do I deal with my audience?
Like, for example, how do you accept their feedback if it's negative or it's positive? How
Oh,
do you
okay, yeah,
shape your image in front of them? What kind of messages do you try to send to them?
right. For me, I've always been a person that listens to everything anybody says. As everybody has an opinion, and I listen and take that feedback in, and I try not to take it personally if it's negative. I also try not to really take it personally if it's positive, because if you have a lot of people that are like giving you a bunch of positive feedback, whether it's real or not, it could, you could get a big head, and next thing you know, you're a pain. But I take what people say, and one of the things I try to do is, if I'm hearing a lot of people saying the same thing, there's got to be some truth to that. If I have like one person that says, oh, you stink, you can't act, you shouldn't be doing this, but I heard other people say, hey, you're not bad, you're pretty good. And I'm like, okay, this one person, for whatever reason, didn't like what I did or doesn't like me, but that's fine. That's what they want. And so I take that all in, and I take that also, I use that to try to hone my craft, because I want to, hearing that feedback, someone might say, like, oh, I noticed that in this, when you're doing this character, you did this,
Yeah.
an example. So one of my very first projects, I was struck in the film, someone came up behind me and they strangled me. And it was a short movie. It was only like 15 minutes long. And so, I died fairly quick, strangled and stuff. And my son, when he watched it, he's like, you died too fast. There's no way you're going to die in that. I'm like, it's a 15-minute movie. I can't take 5 minutes of a 15-minute movie being strangled to that. So I had to, like, make that scene happen. But, that was feedback. And, took it in, I understood where he was coming from, and just, added that to my repertoire.
Yeah, very nice. Okay, let me ask you this question. Like, can the directors and the producers and the owners in the acting industry control your self-image, control your self-esteem?
Can they? General, yes. Specific, no. They, I mean, again, it's how much power you let them have. If you're doing something and a director is like, and I actually have never really had a bad director so far in my career. I'm very, very blessed. But if I've heard stories where a director was yelling at people, telling them they got it wrong, telling them they were stupid. And some people, that's going to make them angry. Some people, that's going to make them cry. Some people, they're not going to care. So if you allow that director or other actors, you know, or anybody on a set, you know, to, if you give them that power to like let them, you know, what they say makes you, you know, unhappy or elevates you really, really high and stuff, like, you know, that's on you. You get it. So for me, with everything that I've been through in my life, I don't let them get me like that. I mean, you know, I'm human. You know, someone says, "Oh, that was horrible." You know, I'm not going to say, "Well, you know, you didn't know." It's going to hurt, you know, for a second, but then you think about it. Okay, it's horrible, and I'm a kind of I'll ask, okay, why was it horrible? What did I do wrong? And I'll say this is net, and I can agree or I can disagree. But you know, when it comes down to it, you know, a director is the person that's in charge of the story, and you got to do things his way. But you know, for me, no, I don't give him that power. You know, and you know, I actually remember that as well.
Mhm. Okay, about your acting skills, how do you try to develop and improve your acting skills?
Mm, that's a good question too. As an actor, you're always trying to hone in your craft. You're always trying to prove yourself. Obviously, you know, you can take an acting mentor. You know, there's a lot of people out there that you teach. It doesn't have to be like one person teaching everything. You can have like one person that helps you with improv. You can have one person that's really good at teaching how to cry on cue. You can have somebody that's with, you know, comedic timing. You know, you can take seminars. Also, you know, one of the things I do,
Yeah.
and it's funny is because, and once I got into this career, when I'll watch a movie or I'll watch a TV show, and I can enjoy it still, but I also done that scene, or I wonder if I had done this, or you know, I start thinking about that, and which will help me when I get into a position where I'm on set in a similar thing. You know, okay, well, if it doesn't feel right, well, I remember this person did it like this, so I'll use that. And then the thing is, watching people every day. You know, I'm a people watcher as it is, but as an actor, what you're doing is you're portraying somebody else. You're putting on the persona of somebody else's skin or getting in somebody's shoes, and you're displaying that as a character or a story. And so if you're watching people and you can see in like, you know, one of the things, say you take people and put them in the same situation, you're going to get 100 different descriptions because everybody takes it differently. So if you watch these people and you learn, you start to see how people, their mannerisms and how they respond to things, you know, then you can, you know, remember that to then keep that into your toolkit and use it later.
Mm. Very nice. Like, where do you draw the line between your personal life and between being an actor? I mean, in terms of spending, in terms of clothes, in terms of friends.
Sorry, let me kill this. You want to do that again?
Yeah, again.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah. The question again. Where do you draw? Where do you draw the line between being a person, like your personal life, and between being an actor, in terms of expenditure, money, clothing, friends?
Oh, for me, my goal is to maintain my current lifestyle as an actor, where I don't have to have like a day job, where I don't have to do like a 9 to 5 kind of job, where the only thing I do is act. And you know, I don't have any like aspirations or desires to have like, you know, a 17-room mansion or have all these fancy cars. You know, if the opportunity comes, I'm not going to say no, but that's not what I'm doing. I'm acting because I love it. This is something I absolutely love. I love helping to tell a story, being part of a group of people that tells a story that other people get, you know, enjoyment from, or maybe they hear a message and it helps them get through a tough time or something. And so in my personal life, you know, again, I'm human. You know, I have highs, I have lows. Good days and bad days and stuff, but I never like get up out of bed each morning and say, huh, I'm an actor, you know, and no, I'm a human being and my job is an actor. And so it's, when you get on set, it's like going to work. You know, when you go to work, you get your off, sit down, you're at your desk, you do your job. When your day's done, you get up, you go home, and You know, you may be a data programmer all day, but you know, go home at night, you might like to build model airplanes and fly them. You know, so same thing with me in personal life and acting. You know, it's, you know, there's a difference where when I'm acting, it's work. You know, it's a job. I enjoy it, but you know, it doesn't. You know, it's not like I run around telling people, "Hey, actor," you know.
Yeah, yeah, very, very nice. Okay, the next question is like, can you accept and sometimes refuse roles?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. In the beginning, like in an actor's career, in the beginning, a lot of people tell you, you know, take on every role you get, no matter what. And I kind of agree with that. I mean, one of the things, like if you take on a role, whether it's like in a short movie or it's a TV thing or it's a, you know, big epic, but it's a small part or whatever, it's, you're getting time on set, which gets you experience, you know, helps you hone your craft. So you're getting exposure to other people. You learn how things happen and how things process, and you make connections. Like the first project I did, which was a TV pilot, the person in the scene I was with, he was there doing that. He was learning because he was in film school and he was going to film school to be a director. And we just started striking up conversation. He goes, "Hey, you know, I got to do that 15-minute movie I said earlier. He goes, I got to do a 15-minute movie for my, you know, to graduate. You want to be my bad guy?" And so that was the next project I had was, you know, I got to be the bad guy in his short film, which, you know, I met other people. And after a while, you know, people, you start running into the same people, or people say, "Yeah, I heard that you worked with such and such or so-and-so." And you're like, "Yeah, they, you know," and you can hear, and that's the other, and that also is the thing, is you can hear the good and the bad. "Oh yeah, they said that you were this," or "No, they said you're a great guy." And so, but when a role comes your way, you know, you look at it and, you know, if it's something that, you know, you're just really, really diametrically opposed to, like if, like there's people that, you know, okay, they won't play a certain character type or a um, certain role and stuff, they can say, "No, I don't want it." Now, does that hurt you? People say yes, some people say no. Depends on, you know, at what level it is. For me, like I said, I'm trying to take on anything I can get my hands on because I want to practice. I want to, you know, get better. I want that experience, and I want to get the exposure out there. So, like, you know, start, you know, climbing up into like bigger and bigger projects. But there have been some roles that, you know, I probably was a fit for. But no, I don't know if I want to do that one. And there's a lot of roles out there that I'm actively going after. I'm like, you know, reaching out to the casting directors, reaching out to producers, saying, "Hey, you know, this is me. Here's my resume, here's my headshot. I'd love to be part of that project. You know, and this is the role I'd like to be. You know, what do you think?" And so, you know, you can refuse and accept roles, again, as they come, but, you know, it's up to the individual.
Yeah. Okay, what is the best role you have done so far?
I'm sorry, the best what?
What is the best role or the best character you have
Oh,
played so far?
oh, wow.
Uh,
That's kind of
te-
hard.
yeah, tell me the name of the film, your name in the movie, like why do you like it?
Yeah, there's one that we just started filming. It's called Window with the View. It's a paranormal horror, where it's being shot in Kentucky in the United States. And I'm playing Sheriff Dalton, of the county of where all the things that are going on in the movie are taking place. And it's fun because as a sheriff, you know, I'm the authority figure, and I pretty much, you know, the character gets away with, you know, he runs it, he controls it, you know, not that he's not a bully or he's not a dictator, but, you know, he is the law. And so it's fun because you're interacting with adults and teenagers and kids, and, you know, so you've got all these scenes with a variety of people, and it's fun to do that. Plus, you know, there's you know, some action in there. I did another movie, called Discarding Santa, where I played a collections. Say I was on the street corner, you know, ringing a bell, collecting money for a charity. But the town had passed an ordinance where that was outlawed. You couldn't do that anymore. And so I ended up getting arrested by the police, and, you know, put in the police car and taken to the local police department and arrested. And that was fun. I had had fun with that one. You know, I've got a couple other movies coming up that I'm not allowed to talk about. I've got one that I filmed down in Alabama. It's a documentary where I played, a character. I wasn't like a star, but I was a character that had a lot of scenes. And I get into in that movie, I get into a fight. I get my eye knocked out of my head. I got to drive some old vintage vehicles. It was a lot of fun. It's supposedly coming out this December, I'm hoping.
Yeah.
And once they actually announce it, we can talk about it. But those, I'd have to say those are probably right now some of the funnest characters that I've done. I've had other ones. I guess for me, a character where there's some physicality in it, when I'm just not, you get a little action going, and like I did a Western. Called Copper Canyon, that's still filming. They're hoping to, wrap filming and have it out for next year. That was really fun. I've got another like period piece that is I played a moonshiner, and it's called The Messenger of Light. And they've actually the whole first season filmed, and they're trying to get it produced or not produced, but trying to get it distributed to one of the different cable companies out there that show these kind of things. And playing it like an older moonshiner up in the hills was a lot of fun too. And so I've been very blessed so far.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay, let me ask you another question here. Like, what do you want to change in the minds of the people when they look at you? What do you want them to know that they don't know about you?
I'd have to say, always have like an open mind. Be honest. When you see me, like right now, like also depending, like even like with this red shirt and the white beard and stuff, I kind of like give off more of a Santa vibe. But if I was to put on some darker clothes or like a bandana or something, I might give off like a biker or like a bad guy kind of vibe. I'm not. I'm very, very friendly, very open, very honest person. Honest to a fault sometimes. I don't like confrontation. Like in a script, yeah, I love it. But in real life, I don't like confrontation. I mean, there's this life is too short as it is. Why waste time with negativity and arguing about stuff or being afraid of things. So for me, it's like I'm a very approachable. I'm the kind of guy that would give you the shirt off his back. If you needed it. Just it's the way I was brought up. Everybody, we're all family. We're all one race. So it's just I may look a certain way because how I dressed, but don't just see the book cover. See what's inside.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, let me ask you another question about acting and this industry. What do you want to change in this world?
Wow, that's a great question. First thing that comes to my mind is equality. And it's not so much for me, like, I know there's a movement to try to get rid of best actor, best actress, and just make it one thing, which I'm not for that. I mean, I think there should be an actor, actress, you define that way, but when you have an actor and an actress on set that are of like equal caliber, they're great actors and they deserve to get paid the big bucks because they're that good. Just one is a man doesn't mean he should get more money than the female, because a lot of the times the females are carry the movie. The females are like they got the strength in there, but it's just like if you're going to be both at a certain level, I'm not saying they should make exactly the same amount, but within a certain rate they should be making approximately. And down, as you're like, like if I was in a movie with Robert De Niro, okay, De Niro's because I'm not right now at Robert De Niro's, caliber. But if I was in a movie with, somebody else who's been doing movies for a few years and, they're about the same, experience and the same talent level, I expect us to make the same amount of money. If we're in that same category of the film, because you've got stars or main cast and supporting cast, and you get like extras and background. So as you tier into those, there's going to be different levels of pay. That I get, but I think if you're at the same level, you should be getting about the same amount of money. I just think it's I don't see what the mindset is, how people get paid less just because, you know, someone's female or male. So I
Mhm.
definitely want to see, you know, equal pay and equality in the industry.
Yeah, that's very interesting, especially from an actor who is a man, not a woman. Yeah. Let me ask you another question here. Like, how can people see the bro on you?
How can people see the what in me?
The bro.
The bro.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not quite tracking on that question. I'm sorry.
Okay, let's change the question until we come back. Okay, what upcoming projects do you have?
Well, like I said earlier, I'm currently filming Window with the View. You go to windowwiththeviewmovie.com and check out there. You know, it's an independent movie that we're filming here in Kentucky. I'm part of a project, you know, that, well, honestly, I can't say I've got an NDA on that one. But I've, like I said, just worked on Messenger of Light. Wrapped with that. That will be coming out soon. And then there is another movie that I'm in discussion with that it's trying to think of how to describe it. It's a movie about a family that had something happened
Just say it.
in well I'm trying to see if I'm allowed to say. Actually, give me 1 second. I'll tell you. Oh, because that's the thing with this these movies is you sign an NDA, non-disclosure act, and you're not allowed to say anything about it
Yeah.
until they say you can. So give me just 1 second. Let me just take a consider here. Yes, I can. Okay, it's called Norman Jean's Son, and it's pretty much like a biography of this gentleman's family history. Very, very, very great book. In fact, it's an award-winning book. And that's Chris Courtney wrote that, and he's trying to get that made into a movie, and I've been cast into that. And really looking forward to that. Another one I have coming up, Joyce Isaacson has written a book about someone who goes to heaven, and while they're in heaven, they're searching people. But it's all music related, and so like I get to play. You know, once we get this to go to the screen, I'm playing a famous musician who has passed on, and I'm in heaven. You know, and I have a few scenes with this guy as he's trying to find him, and that's I'm really excited about that one as well. That will be a lot of fun to do, especially it's got some great music in it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so fascinating. So, Carl, how can people see the bro on you?
The bro, the
Yeah.
information. Okay. Well, I have my own website, Karl, and it's Karl with a K at Karl Licht. That's KarlLicht.com. I try to keep that up to date. Get photos up there, get some small videos, things that I've done. My brand ambassador page for is up there, as well as content. And that's on TV, again, Karl Licht. I'm the only one on IMDb with that name. So you can find out information there. Again, if you go to like windowwiththeviewmovie.com, you'll find there's some. I'm on the character description of that movie, and then I'm gonna get ready to start doing a probably like a weekly, kind of like newsletter blog type thing from my webpage, and as people subscribe to that, they'll get an email, and I'll just give a little update. And I'm not gonna like flood them with all kinds of stuff. Just a little update with what's going on, where my career is headed, and things like that.
Yeah, it has been a great pleasure talking to you, Carl, today. I really cannot thank you enough.
Nour, it has been my pleasure, and I really do appreciate this opportunity.